will actually make some suggestions recommended for you. And at the top here, you can see a number of tabs. You can have social media posts. You may know, or you may not know, that certain social media requires different dimensions. So if you are creating a banner for your Facebook page, or you're creating a Facebook post, they all have different dimensions. So if you go to social media, it will actually give you the dimensions you need for any kind of social media post. So if you want a cover for your club, a Facebook cover, it's all there, and the dimensions for that are exactly right. So because we're limited in time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create a Facebook cover and talk you through the functionality as I'm doing it, if that's okay. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Just to continue with the tabs, as you can see, there's an event tab, which has posters, brochures, invitations you can create. There's a marketing tab where you can create flyers and posters. You can even create logos if you wanted to, but that's obviously not relevant here. You can create documents, letters, CVs. As you can see, the possibilities are absolutely endless. So what does it look like when you go into, when you want to start creating a Facebook cover? You literally click on the Facebook cover, and what it will give you is a blank dimensions that you can fill. Now, I'm not a designer, and I would imagine that maybe some of you might be, but most of you will not be designers, and a blank sheet of paper probably, you know, makes your blood boil and feel uncomfortable. So what Canva actually does is it gives you a number of templates to feel inspired by. So as you can see here, it creates an awful lot of templates. You've got lots of different styles, different ideas of how to lay things out. Absolutely endless. So you can choose a design that you like and start working with that design. On the left-hand side here, you can see lots of different buttons. I won't go through all of them, but you can upload your own photographs to use. So as you can see, I've uploaded all the photographs that are available on the Toastmasters International website, and all the logos are there for me to use as part of my design. Canva itself has photographs that you can use. So for example, this one here is a nice, one maybe to use. There's a lady on a laptop, obviously enjoying Toastmasters Club meeting. And as you can see, as I hover over it, it says free in the corner. Now, not all images are free, but those that are free are royalty free, and you can use them as much as you like. There's elements. Elements is lines, squiggles, splashes. As you can see, you can have a look at that in your own time. You have different text and fonts you can use, but as Elizabeth mentioned, we have fonts that we'd like you to use, but that doesn't stop you from maybe adding a nice signature to something if you wanted to. And there's a few other buttons, a background button, so you can create something with sparkles for Christmas, or if you're wanting a jungle theme to your club meeting, you can have nice greenery, whatever you want it to be. Okay, I know this is a little bit of a whistle-stop tour, so excuse the pace of it. So as I said, I was going to create a Facebook cover. And because I don't want to start with a blank sheet of paper, I have decided that this one I quite like. I quite like the simplicity of it. Obviously, the colors are completely wrong. The photos, as you can see, there's a watermark on it, which means that the photos aren't free. You would have to pay for those. And obviously, I don't want to be called Arthur's Arts and Crafts. I want to be known as Lincolnshire Speakers. So the way to build this is literally, if you're used to working PowerPoint presentations, it's not dissimilar. So let me go to my uploads, and I'm going to start by adding the logo. So as you can see, it places it somewhere. You can move it around. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. You can move it around to wherever you want it to go. Great start. Now, remember, Elizabeth mentioned the brand guide. Can you see the brand guide at the moment? I just have a thumbs up, no? Oh, excuse me, right. So within the brand guide, let me just stop sharing and go back in. So within the branding guide, these are your guide to the colors. Now, how can you add the color to Canva? The thing to look out for is the hex codes, HEX codes, and this is the one at the top. So as you can see, I've got those highlighted, and you will have the same for the accent color here is a hex code. So what do you do with the hex codes? In this case, I'm going to copy and paste it. And I'm going to go back into Canva. Right. So if I wanted to change this banner here to a different color, I would literally go to the top. And at the top, you can see a clear search box. And I'm just going to paste in the code. And there you have it. There is the right color for our poster, compliant with Toastmasters International. There we are. We have created not a pink banner, but a red banner. We can do the same with the text. The text color is up here. You go into it, and actually it has saved the color for me helpfully. So I could just click on it, and now the text is the right color. And the same with the banner here. And there we are. It's slowly starting to look like something that matches the branding. Now, what do we do with the photographs? The photographs, as you can see, are watermarked, which means that we can change those. The way to change the photographs is you can either go to your uploads, and let's see, I've got probably a nice one somewhere. Here we are. We all know Danny Banks. That's Danny with one of our members. It's just slightly not centered enough, so I'm going to double click on it. And I'm going to just drag it into place. And there you have it. Photo number 1. For the second photograph, I'm going to use one of Canva's photograph just to give you an example. Again, you click, oh, no. You click and, why aren't you playing? You click and you drag it into the photograph. And there you have it. Wonderful. The text, you double click on the text. As I said, it's pretty much like a PowerPoint presentation. And I can make that into Lincolnshire, excuse my speakers, which is my club. But as you can see, it's the wrong font. So I can highlight it and I can look here for the right one. So it was Gotham. I'm not sure if it will come up. Gotham's not there. Montserrat. Actually, Montserrat's not there either. Okay. Let me just use another one for now. Spartan League. Quite like that one. Sadly, you're restricted with the fonts that you use on your free account, so you can't add to your, but nevertheless, it looks clear, it looks fresh, and you can make that work. And then we're going to change that to where leaders are made. I don't like the font, so I'm going to change the font. Let's change it to that. There we are. And there you have your finished banner. You can make the logo a little bit bigger so it's a bit more proportionate. And there you have a Facebook banner that you can use for your club. Okay. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. I don't know how we're doing for time, James. Could I just check in with you?
We have 17 minutes.
17 minutes left?
Yeah.
17 minutes left. Wow. I must have raced through this.
I think
Okay.
this time, Heidi, maybe just to do a simple poster.
I can go back.
It's contest season, so maybe something to.
Okay.
Heidi, sorry, can I ask a question? How do you then translate that onto Facebook?
Okay, good question. Thank you for that. Let me go back into the design that I've created. Which was that one? Or it might have been one I've made earlier, sorry. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So this is the one I've created. At the top here, you can see download. And you have different types. For Facebook, it prefers PNG or JPEG. So you can choose either GNP or JPEG. I usually choose JPEG because it's a little bit better quality. And then you download it. And then, as usually, it comes down here with a download. And then you open it and you save it to a file or folder that where you know where to find it.
Can I ask a question before you move on, Heidi?
Of course you can, yes, that would be helpful.
So what you're saying is that the free version of this is not brand compliant because it doesn't have the fonts in that Toastmasters want.
That's correct at this point, yes. Yeah.
So
I think that I saw a Montserrat there. If you wanted to check again, I think it was because you put in MONS. If you put in MONTS.
Oh, of course.
I think it was just a little spell.
Good spot.
Oh, good spot. Yeah, yeah.
There we have it.
Yeah. If it's got Montserrat and Arial, which I think it does, I think you're okay. I think it's got Arial as well, hasn't it?
It does have Arial. Yeah. So
it would work.
So Arial is an acceptable backup.
No, Arial is for the body of the text and Montserrat's for the heading. I think that's the way they've done it.
Is it that one? Yeah. And you can make it bold or italic, but obviously being brand compliant, you can make it bold, but italic would probably look a little bit wrong.
Yeah. Okay,
following the guide. Yeah.
Thanks, Ali.
Thank you for that spot. I can't spell. Wonderful. It takes a couple of eyes to see it, doesn't it? So thank you for that. I hadn't appreciated it. So yeah, so the download from there, if you said, oh, actually, I want to create a second version and want to run it past my club and see what they like best, what you can do is you can duplicate it by by clicking the little duplicate image there, and you can maybe swap the blue for the red and vice versa, and run it past your club and say, which ones do you prefer best? Are you happy with the photographs? Do we want to change the photographs? You might want to run it past your committee, I don't know. But that's another way you can create maybe a second version of something. Okay.
Can I ask you something, Heidi? I'm sorry for interruption.
No, please do. That's what this is all about.
I used to try to work with Canva, but I never realized actually if it's possible to save it on your computer, or you have to save it in Canva.
Sorry, you're breaking up a little bit. I can't quite.
Is it possible to save your presentation, your work on your machine, on your computer, or you have to save it somewhere in Canva?
No. It saves it in Canva, but when you download it, it saves it onto your computer. You can easily save it onto your computer. You can't change it once you've obviously saved it, but you can always go back into Canva, because Canva has a version that you can amend and play with afterward.
One more question. Does everyone else seeing my presentation saved in Canva, or it's sort of how can I say protected, or is it available for everyone to see, or somehow I can, you know, kind of hide it?
Your account is your account.
Okay.
However, I do specify a however. So as you can see here, I've got a Graphos team, I've got Lincolnshire Speakers team, I've got District 71 PR team. So I have a number of teams that I can share and collaborate with at the same time. But then that's you giving permissions for people to see what you're doing, and you can change that at any time.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem at all. Okay, so we've probably got a little bit of time to look at a poster, I hope.
10 minutes.
Thank you, James. Let me just move you out of the way. So on the marketing, there was no, not under marketing, under events, I think it was. There are posters that you can create. Same principle. You click into poster, you get a blank sheet of paper. Great. If you're brave enough, by all means, start with a blank sheet of paper, because you can add elements to that, such as let's go a bit rebellious here. So can add something like that to it if for Halloween or whatever. We're not going to do that.
Compliant, Heidi.
Well, for Halloween you have to stand out a little bit, so it's a balancing act. I would always say branding. If you think about Mercedes, you know, they have their own writing in the logo, but they use other fonts as well, so it's a balancing act. Let's have a look. Right, so I'm going up to templates, and again we have a blank sheet of paper, but we might want to choose something that we like. Let's have a look. Right, this says outdoor fitness. Has got nothing to do with Toastmasters International, but I like the format of it, and I think I could translate that into a club contest poster. So we don't want that photograph. We're going to choose a photo. Let's choose a photo that is compliant with the eye. There we have it. Actually, I'm going to choose another photo. And it's as simple as dragging and dropping. As you can see, it's a little bit too far to the left, to the right. Double click on it and you get the full image, and you can drag it into place. There we are. She's ready for the humorous speech contest. You're going to speech contest. I'm shortcutting it a little bit because I don't want to spend too much time typing. Plus I can't type, obviously. So that classic. There we are. If we wanted to make that text a little bit bigger, as you can see up here, you can change the font size. And as much as it gives you suggestions for font size, if you said, actually, I don't want to jump from 104 or 105 to 120, you can just overwrite it, write it, say 112. That's a little bit better. Now, as you can see here, when I drag this, it drags as a block of a block. Actually, it's a block made up of a number of things. If I highlight that block, oh no, it won't do it. If I highlight that block, at the top here, you see ungroup. If you ungroup it, suddenly all these little pieces move separately. And as you drag them back into place, as you can see, you get helpful guidelines as to where you might want to place it at the center of things. So you would add a time to this, you'd add an invitation at the bottom, you change the color, you add a logo, you can do lots of different things. Put that there. So you can see what I'm doing at it. There we are. It's still not compliant, but I'm slowly running out of time. So, but you can see how you can build on what is already there. Rather than starting with a blank sheet of paper, you get inspiration from Canva, and then you can start creating for yourself what you want to create. Okay. Any further questions or suggestions?
I've got another one, Heidi.
Yeah, go for it.
If we're all logged on, if we've all got Canva accounts, is
Yeah.
there anywhere we can share template work, or we can build a library of templates to save us all reinventing the wheel?
I've made suggestions in our area. So I'm president and VPR for my club. And in area 6, we've got 4 clubs. So four VPPRs as such. I've made suggestions to the other VPPRs to have a group where we can share templates. Now, you might say, well, why can't we do that at a district level? The challenge is that the bigger the group, obviously, the more you create stuff. I would keep it quite small, maybe a group of 6 VPPRs maybe working together and setting up a group within Canva to share templates that you don't have to reinvent stuff.
Okay.
The challenge, I would say, because at a club level, you want to stand out from, so for example, we've got Lincolnshire Club and we've got Nottingham Club, and we're quite closely situated. So we might compete over people who live in Newark, which is just in between our clubs. Well, obviously we want them to come to Lincolnshire, Nottingham might want them to come to Robin Hood. So there is still an element of that you have to offer some kind of USP as a club. You know, we might focus on professionals while Robin Hood might focus on younger people or students. I don't know, you know. So you change your templates according to the audience that you want to reach is what I would suggest.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Question, please. So with the images, is there a repository of images that Toastmasters have approved that we can, is there like a central repository of approved images that can be used for different promotional purposes?
The website that Elizabeth showed earlier on, the branding website, the marketing website, has got loads of images. So the images here, those 3, 4, 5 images here, mm-hmm. they are they are actually from the website,
Yeah.
approved on the website. So you can upload them onto your computer and then upload them onto Canva so that you can keep using them over and over again. But as you can see, I've also got club photographs from our club, such as here, handing over certificates from when we were meeting face to face, obviously. And obviously those are great to use as well because they show a little bit more of a friendly face, as you can see there.
Can I ask another one, Heidi?
If we've got time, I think we've still
2
got a little bit of
minutes.
time. Thank you.
Is there any indication on Canva how much of the space you've used up by loading all these photos and what have you, so you know if you're getting close to the limit?
That's a great question. I've not reached my limit yet, and I've been using it for quite a few years. But I do occasionally sort of tidy things up, things that I don't use anymore. So I would say it's got quite a bit of capacity for you to upload photographs. So I've not reached my limit yet, and I'm a seasoned user, shall we say?
Okay,
So,
great, thanks.
okay. Thank you very much for putting up with a whistle-stop tour. Do give us feedback on what you thought of it, and if you would like maybe further training, Elizabeth will probably want to know about that. So do let us know in the chat or afterward via email. Thank you very much for your questions, and we might have a few more questions at the end, but I'll hand over back to Elizabeth for the next section. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Heidi. Can I ask everyone please to unmute yourselves and give Heidi a round of applause? Thank you, Heidi, for that excellent introduction. And I hope everyone's got at least enough to go away and try using Canva. I'm certainly going to start using it myself because, as I said, I've seen many excellent examples of Canva use around the world. And some of the best ways I've seen it used is, for example, when someone has finished their icebreaker in Pathways, or they've got a Pathways, they've finished a path, people are using this to celebrate and to incentivize their group to keep moving on with Pathways. If someone's got a DTM, for example, they do a Canva poster. They're using it in the most creative ways. So I'm hoping that you will do the same. And as I said, I've incentivized it for you by having this quarterly poster prize. So I'm looking forward to seeing some wonderful posters being submitted. Okay, I want to spend the next 10 minutes and hand it over to you because you're out there in the field, in your clubs, and I want to hear from you, what are you doing as VPPRs? Tell us about your newsletter, tell us about your website, anything you're doing, please. I think the easiest way to do it, there are 32 of us, but I can't see both screens. I'm going to need James, for you to keep an eye open, but if you can put your hand up, I think it'd be quite nice for us to, in the spirit of sharing, to share something about what you're doing in your club. So who wants to go first and tell us what you're doing as VPPR? Is that Emily?
Yes, hi.
And tell us what you're doing.
What we've done on a couple of occasions is run Facebook Live sections of the meeting. So maybe table topics or a debate or something like that, just to give people a flavour of what happens in our meetings and that it can be fun and interesting and that it's not necessarily all about writing scary speeches. So that's something we've tried.
I love the sound of that. Do you want to tell us if anyone visited as a result of that, or did they come back a second time? What sort of, in other words, what sort of feedback did you get from your Facebook Live event?
Well, on both occasions, it's when in the era of Zoom. So we got a lot of people commenting on the posts, and we got some people watching it live because we promoted we were doing it beforehand. And there was I think we had 86 or 90 interactions with the post when in total. And it brought, I think it brought more people. It made the name of the club more known. I didn't actually follow up to see how many it translated as to coming to the club, but it was nice for people when they did, that we could say, oh, we have this that you can look at, because you know, you just want to make it as welcoming and as pleasant as possible. And then I started a YouTube channel for us. And what I'm doing with that is I'm recording all the Zoom meetings. And then if I'm given permission by people, I'll put up their speech or, you know, a part of it or something onto YouTube, and I have it in different playlists, so that if somebody's coming along and they want to see what icebreakers look like, we can show them a couple of those. And if they want to see what, you know, one of the more ACLs or something like that, we can show them those. And it also means that it's easier to put those into our website. So that's what we've been doing. Sorry for taking up all your time.
Not at all. What's the name of your club, please, Emily?
Offshoot. Sorry, that's my camera club. Dublin 18 Toastmasters.
Okay, excellent. There's some really good stuff going on there. Excellent. Who else would like to share what they're doing at their club? I cannot believe you're VPPR and you're shy. Please. Is it Edel?
Hi, yeah, it's Edel from Kildare. Just
I've been hearing about.
How are you? Just one thing we did actually last Sunday and 2 Sundays ago was it was actually really sunny in Kildare, and there was a farmers market on the square, and we had a stall there at the market, and we got talking to lots and lots of people, and they're coming to our open night, and some of them have come. We had a tour, and some of them came on the tour with us, and it was a good way to get to know them and get to talk to them about the club before they even come to a meeting. So we found that was really, really helpful.
Oh, I think that is excellent. And are you planning more of those sessions to have more market days?
Well, I think this particular market, I think it's only on during the summer, but we're definitely going to do for more of that kind of thing, like maybe Christmas markets or anything. We've never done it any other year, so it just happened to work out well this year, and it was sunny days as well, so it was good.
Excellent. And what I would say to you is that's the kind of event I'm happy to support with, should we say, the open event. So if you're going to have that kind of event, you may want to make a banner or make posters, and that's the sort of thing I think as PR I'll be happy to support, because you're giving publicity to Toastmasters, to your club, and so on. So have to think about that. Who else would like to say what they're doing in their club? Nina. Hi, Nina.
Yes. Hi. So we're doing a newsletter after every meeting, a couple of days. I can share my screen if you want to see it.
Yes, please.
I can't. I'm disabled.
Hold on a second. I may have to make you co-host. Let me have a look. Yeah, I'm going to make you a co-host, and you can share your screen. Yeah.
Where is it here? So what we do, it's usually a meeting write-up. Then I screenshot of our meeting. So that's the write-up here. And then I usually share some things about Toastmasters internals. What's the DTM? What is the committee doing? What is the contest, for example? And then Bob Ferguson kindly adds to the newsletter as well by doing us a little workshop for evaluations. And there I also share special events we're doing. Like next time we're doing a voice workshop, so I'm sharing this. And we have 4 new members ever since we started that, since lockdown. And also we have a very good retention in our club, because many members say that they can't attend every meeting, but they get all the information about what happens. So they find it quite helpful to stay in touch with the club, even though they can't come to every meeting.
Thank you, Nina. And of course I know, because I do see your newsletter, and I think it is absolutely excellent. What I particularly like about it is I think it's not only for established members, but it's an extremely good resource for new members. So I think you're doing a fantastic job, and you know, keep going. And don't forget, there's a newsletter up here, so please keep going. Okay, who else would like to share what they're doing in their club? Let me go to page. Arnold, hi. Tell us what your club is.
So I'm with two clubs. So I'm with Advanced Orators, and I'm with Manchester Communicators.
Okay.
And we use a little bit of a different method. Also, of course, we use social media like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. But because I own 2 TV channels, we air sometimes some promotions for Toastmasters as well, so that we actually have a club in Manchester. What is really effective because, well, we got quite a lot of members, new members, especially now in these times. So that's what we do.
Sorry, did I hear the word TV channels?
Yes. So I own a TV channel called Learn Global TV. Sorry for the commercial thing. But what we do is we have a 24/7 streamer, and I put once or twice a day and let's say sort of like Toastmaster banner that we have a Toastmaster Club, and then we have a meeting running on that day, on that time online. And yeah, it's quite effective because we get only more members. So it's a good thing.
Okay. Is that something that other clubs could tap into, or is it a Manchester only thing?
At the moment, because, well, it's airtime, so I contribute a little bit to airtime. But I also, well, if people want to air something as well, it's at the moment only within Manchester. So
okay, excellent.
For the Manchester area. So if somebody is in Lancashire, what's a little bit broad than that, then yeah, we can definitely have a chat or see what we can do. But at the moment, I'm just doing it only for the 2 clubs.
The 2 clubs in Manchester.
Yes.
Okay. Very, very interesting. Who else have got their hands up? Has anyone got an open evening coming up, or they're doing, you know, open mic evenings or whatever? What else? Let me go to page 2 in case there are people on page 2. If anyone on page 2 with hands up or wanting to tell us what your club is doing. I'm Lucan.
Hi, Elizabeth. I got my mic on at last. Hi.
Sorry.
We've no immediate plans for open meetings as yet, because we would normally have our open meeting in January in preparation for the second half of the year. But we may be looking at, because things are different now, perhaps we will have an extra open meeting before Christmas, but we haven't planned anything. But I just wanted to say that I had a little bit of an experience, because the local media is very short on stories, with there not being a huge amount going on. So I contacted a local newspaper a few weeks ago to suggest they might come to our first Zoom meeting. And they kind of bit my hand off, because they wouldn't even wait for the first meeting. She rang me the next day and interviewed me on the phone, because they're just looking for good news stories. Everything is about COVID, everything's about lockdown. So we're certainly going to follow up on that with perhaps with other local media. That I think there might be an appetite out there to just have something a little bit different, which is great. So at the moment, we're also looking at our website. So I have to confess, I'm doing it as my level 5 project to reinvigorate the Lucan Toastmasters website. So that's a big project that we're embarking on between now and Christmas. And yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, that's it from Lucan Toastmasters.
Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, I'm so totally inspired by what everyone's doing. There's some fantastic things going on. James has got your hand up. Are you, James?
Just to let you know, there's 10 minutes left.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
But great. This is brilliant.
Okay. I'm going to pause there from doing the roundup. But if you've got anything else you want to tell me, please put it in the chat. What I want to do now is, for the remaining, 8-10 minutes, to open it up to questions on anything you wish regarding the VPPR, the VPPR's role, how it's going for you, what you're missing, what more would you like to do? I mean, I've got a list of training I've got in mind. I mean, for example, I want to bring someone to talk about social media. I want to bring someone to talk about media training. I've got lots of ideas, but I want to know what you want so that I meet your needs, not just give you what I think you would like. James and I actually went to a meeting in Oregon last night. So at 1 o'clock in the morning, two of us were on a call for VPPRs in Oregon. I think they were very impressed that the two of us were up so late. But what was really interesting was they've actually also got a whole series of programs for their VPPRs, including Canva and so on. It's like almost identical to mine. So I think I'm at least on the right path, only I may have them in a different order. So if you tell me what you would like, I can arrange it for you and make sure you get the training to help you, do your role. So over to you for questions, comments, anything you'd like to know regarding PR. And James, can you please also watch chat for me in case any questions? Thank you. So anyone, Emily, you've got your hands up.
Yeah, hi. As part of what I'm doing, I'm a sponsor for a newly started corporate club. And I'm just wondering if the VPPR there asks me for any tips. Is it massively different, a corporate club to a non-corporate club, or what should I tell them?
I think it's different in the sense that a corporate club is effectively a closed club, because all their people are going to come from within the corporation. So they're more or less putting things on their intranet, they're pinning things up next to the coffee machines. Not that perhaps that is happening at the moment because of COVID, but they're not out there fighting to get members of the public to come in. And I think that's one fundamental difference. There's a wonderful book by Pat Johnson on corporate clubs. Have you seen that book? Have you heard of? Okay, what I'll do afterwards, I will put it in my note to you, because that's worth either reading or having a look at. But in terms of, I would say, publicity, what they've got to do is to get with their communications team at work, get to use their intranet. I mean, they might have something like Yammer. Yammer is like the Facebook for the corporate world, and that's where most of their work is going to go to that's going to be, rather than fighting with social media and so on.
Thank you very much.
I think, is it Zero? You had your hand up. You had a question.
Elizabeth, so Philip Howland has been asked.
Yes, thank you, Elizabeth. I'm Zizi. I'm from the Edinburgh Waverley Communicator. So my question is related to the current COVID-19 situation.
Yeah.
And our marketing positioning, and I'm looking for some guidance on that. If we continue to sell our messages like public speaking training, but public speaking literally requires public gathering, and I've seen some people already started losing interest in sitting in front of camera, having the Zoom meetings, and they still miss the face-to-face speech. So in terms of marketing messages, I started to put some posts on to let people know that what benefit you can get from Zoom meetings and how to develop your confidence in front of camera, something like that. But is there any guidance on online meetings and our marketing messages in the future?
That's actually the $1 million question at the moment. I think most people would prefer our normal, face-to-face meetings with connecting with people. But the reality is there's a virus out there which, is, as we can see, is probably on the rise again. So I would think at the moment they're going to be like two options. Some clubs have actually gone back and they can do social distancing with a limited number of people. Some clubs can do that. Others can do the hybrid, i.e. you have a few people in a room and the others online, but most people are going to have to be online. I don't want to overstate it. I work in the corporate world, and it is having the skill of being able to use this media and use it well is an absolute blessing. So I think for some people that's going to be fine. For others, they're not going to like that. So you're going to have to sort of sell the benefits as best you can. And actually, James is waving to me. Sorry, James.
Just to let you know, there are 4 minutes left, and there's 2 other questions on that have been written up on the chat.
Okay, so I'll wrap this one up then. Yeah, so I think that's, you have to sell the benefits of online. If you can do a hybrid, then you may have to try to do that, but there's no single easy answer. Okay, sorry I can't do better than that. James, would you like to put the 2 questions you have, please?
Well, Philip Howland is asking that he's about to launch a podcast next month and currently working through getting set up. Are there any resources available?
Our podcast, absolutely beautiful. Is it a podcast for the club, or is it podcast for Pathways Project? Can the person answer that question?
Yeah, hi Elizabeth.
Hi.
Sorry, Philip here. How are you? Sorry. Yeah, we're kind of going a little bit with both. So I suppose we're probably the idea of it is kind of creative listening is what we're calling it. So I suppose what we want to try and do is launch something that all our members can use. They can learn, you know, they get a chance at presenting. We'll probably have 3 core presenters to start off, and we'll interview guests. But the idea is we'll use it as a facility for our members. So really, it'll be a Toastmasters website, but I'm not 100% sure. I kind of have to, I'm trying to figure that part out. We know what the name of it is. We know what it wants to do. We want kind of to work on, I suppose, the listening side of and the importance of words, I suppose, you know, of Toastmasters. So we're just not going to have the visual piece, I suppose.
So what is your question? Is about resources for equipment? Sorry,
it's just for setting it up. So I'm just working. Yeah, we've just got a grant. We just got a grant. We applied for a grant for it.
Okay.
Got a €400 grant, which will buy the equipment. I've bought a new laptop just to go with it. So it's really just getting it set up, and the best way to get it set up, the most efficient way to set up, if that makes sense.
Okay, it does. I think I've got some. I've got an idea of the resources I can ask to
yeah, I sent you an email previously, so if you look me up, you'll find me with an email on it. So you might be able to send that back to me if you get a chance.
Okay, I will. I'll definitely respond to that.
It's probably in 100 other emails, you know.
Oh God.
We have a minute left.
Thank you.
Great session tonight.
Thank you for understanding. I think there's one more question, then I'll come to you, Lily. Let James do his question, last question first.
Well, there's just a minute left.
Actually, sorry, Lily. James is going to finish, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, yeah. James.
Just the last question that's up on the chat is: how are we planning to circulate posters, and the best place to use them?
The best place to use posters. Okay, what I will do, I will write a separate note to tell you the criteria for the posters and how to send them to me. What I would say to you is to use them in the most creative way possible. Use them to celebrate pathways. When anyone gets anything, icebreaker, level 1, level 2, create a poster. If someone who becomes a DTM, create a poster. If you're having an open night, create a poster. The message is create a poster for everything. James is telling me it's time up. Okay, I'm just going to take Lily's question, and then I have to round up. Lily, your question, please.
Yes, I want to know from Philip Howland, who did he get the grant from?
Philip, that's a question for you. Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, of course. Sorry. Yeah, there was. So for everybody in Ireland, obviously we have a lot of Irish people on. I can send the details. I'll send them to you yourself, Elizabeth. But there's a thing called Creative Ireland, and what they did is they had a grant earlier this year. The close-off point was the end of August. And we just got approval in, I think we applied at the end of July and we got approval in August, but we have to spend the funds before the end of October. So what I'll do is I'll send you the details and I'll send you the application form. And if you want to distribute it to anybody that's interested on it, yeah, no problem at all.
It's absolutely brilliant, very, very innovative. Okay, it's now actually 20:31. It's Friday night. I'm going to say thank you all very much for coming. It's been superb having your company. I am so enthused by all the wonderful things you're doing. I'll arrange another meeting next month. We're going to keep learning, keep working, and help to make this one of the top districts of PR. So on that note, let me thank you again, wish you a good evening, and I'm going to ask James to stay on because we've got some work to do afterwards. So thank you all, and thanks very much for coming.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
James, are you still there?
Great, so I have no life at all.
We can't do this 2 nights in a row. I promise you, I won't be more than 10 minutes. I really.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Well done. Well done. And well done, Heidi. That was great.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Oh, thank
Absolutely
you.
brilliant. Yeah, very much appreciated. So one thing I'm going to do, actions I'm going to do, I'm going to, oh, sorry, let me stop the recording. I think I'm still.
That might be a good.
Where does it say stop the record? Oh, stop the recording. Okay.